Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. Today we are going to talk about spiritually gifted people. I have 6 signs that you might be or you are a spiritually gifted person. So these are the guys with extraordinary spiritual abilities. And even some of them do not even know about this, okay? A person will usually be able to identify or to understand their spiritual abilities when they have gone through some kind of an awakening, okay? Because these gifts, they're usually revealed when a person goes through an awakening and when they have done some work to heal themselves, okay? So to heal their trauma and their childhood trauma and the wounds, okay? So they go through some kind of a stage. They go through some kind of an evolution, and they go through some kind of a growth. And that is the growth actually which opens them up to tap into their spiritual abilities. So we know the chosen ones, the star seeds, the indigo children, the light workers. Those individuals, they know themselves, okay? So you do not have to try very hard to fit into this video if it's not for you. It is not everybody that is spiritually gifted. So if there is things that I'm talking about that are not making sense to you, then that means that actually you are not a spiritually gifted person, okay? So being spiritually gifted also has its own pros and cons, okay? So we have the plus and the minus, we have the goods and the bads. So it doesn't always mean that because you're spiritually gifted, everything is supposed to be smooth for you, okay? So we also have our own challenges. The spiritually gifted people will already understand that they've also got their own challenges. But I would like to identify in this video the 6 signs that you are a spiritually gifted person. Sign number 1 is when you are highly intuitive, okay? There is things that you know, there is things that you say, there is information that you have that defies human logic, okay? You'll usually know things sometimes even before they happen. You'll usually receive the signs about some things that are about to happen. And sometimes you might have the ability to foresee some things or some incidents. You might happen sometimes to know that there's going to be rain later on in the day or in the next couple of minutes. Sometimes you might actually sense a being that is around you, or sometimes you may sense people that are coming towards you or whatever they say to you. So being highly intuitive is sometimes knowing things without actually knowing the reason why you know, but you actually know, and most of the times you tend to be 100% correct. If you're a person who is highly intuitive, and I think this is very common with most of the guys who are the black sheep of the family, you may have noticed that you have been usually very highly intuitive ever since you was a kid, okay? You're highly intuitive. It is one of the signs, most likely, you are a spiritually gifted person, okay? The second sign that you are a spiritually gifted person is you usually attract a lot of broken people, okay? For some reason, you're not even trying. You're not even looking for it, but for some reason, wherever you go, you just find somehow, you run into people, okay? You run into people, or sometimes people run into you. And at a very closer look and engagement with those individuals, you also realize that these individuals, they're struggling with so many things, okay? They are very broken, they need help. So you see, because I've told you guys, normally, a lot of people will always gravitate towards the light, okay? Even sometimes they're doing it unconsciously. So they come in your presence, they are telling you some problems about their businesses, they are telling you something about their health, there's something happened to their children, maybe something wrong with their pets. So they are coming around, and even sometimes without knowing you on a deep level, even knowing who you are, they will usually start opening up their deepest inner secrets and even their deepest inner troubles and experiences that they are going through, okay? And on a very closer look, you're going to realize that those individuals, they're actually really, really broken, and they need somewhere, somehow to, somebody to guide them through so many things in life, okay? So that is one of the signs as well, when you usually find yourself drawn, or sometimes you're attracting a lot of broken individuals and souls, okay? The third sign that you are a spiritually gifted person is you are a person who is highly, highly empathic, okay? You cannot stand somebody's pain, okay? So you can understand that person is going through pain. You can understand and you can even feel what they're going through most of the times. And sometimes these empathic abilities will also be heightened post-awakening, okay? So when a person has gone through some kind of awakening, and you've done some healing work on yourself as well, you will also realize that you're getting more and more empathic, okay? So you can really, really tap into and feel other people's energies and emotions just like it's your own, okay? You can even sometimes take a lot of energies from other people as your own. Now, the fourth one, am I doing the third one or the fourth one? The fourth one is when you are actually experiencing vivid dreams. You may be a spiritually gifted person if you usually have a lot of vivid dreams, okay? So for you, when you go to sleep, it feels like you're actually living a different life. You are living this life, of course, when you're awake, doing your regular things, going about the ordinary day. But also when you go to sleep, you realize that actually everything in the dream feels real. It is as vivid as it can get, okay? You can see everything, you'll understand everything, you'll get all the messages, you'll see, it will feel like you're actually awake in your sleep. So if you're a person who, and most of the time even, you not only that, you also actually happen to remember your dreams. So most of the times, if you're a spiritually gifted person, through these dreams also you're getting a lot of messages, okay? So the reason why you're getting these vivid dreams is because most of the times you're downloading messages in those dreams and information, okay? So sometimes you will feel like these dreams are very real. When you wake up, you feel like actually you've been living those dreams. Those dreams have been a reality. So it may not actually feel like a dream. It may feel like the real life situation, okay? Now, the other sign that I'm going to talk about, spiritually gifted person, you may be a spiritually gifted person also if you experience problems or difficulties getting into relationships, okay? So sometimes a spiritually gifted person, because not everybody around you is like you, okay? So not everybody around you is spiritually gifted as well. So sometimes when you're with people, it's like you can feel like you do not match up with their energy. So sometimes it's like you're trying to go a different direction, they're going a different direction. Sometimes you're saying something, they're arguing with you, or they're fighting with you. Sometimes people that are competing with you. So most of the times, it can also be very difficult. So the reason why you see a lot of times spiritually gifted people tend to be alone, and they even tend to be very comfortable in their own skin. They do not have to be out there struggling or very desperate looking for relationships or partners or things like that. They are actually usually comfortable in their own skin. They may get into dates when they meet somebody who is like them, okay? So when they meet somebody who is on a similar frequency, who understands and speaks their language, they may get into a relationship. But other than that, it's going to be very difficult. So it's the reason as to why you see most of the times you meet people, sometimes they want to date you, you get close to them, but sometimes you feel like they are not on your frequency, they're not matching up with your energy, they are on a completely different direction and path, and sometimes you feel like it's not going to work out. So sometimes you may find yourself getting in and out of relationships in a very short period of time, and sometimes it's even very difficult to explain to somebody that, listen, I'm not that person that you think I am, okay? So they may see you physically and they may understand you and perceive you in a physical, on a 3D level, but sometimes your life actually exceeds towards the 5D, okay? So you do not match up with a lot of people. It's the reason as to why you usually, on a regular basis, struggle with relationships, although you are not even looking for it. But even if it comes, you have got to make sure that it's that similar frequency that you want. If it's not your frequency, you can always let the people go in a very good way, in good faith, okay? The fifth one of a spiritually gifted person is those individuals who usually, you find yourself all of a sudden you're waking up in the night, you know? It can be a certain period a certain time in the night. It can be 3 o'clock, it can be 4 o'clock, it can be between a certain time in the night. For some reason, nobody woke you up, there was no music, there was no loud noise, there was nothing happened, you just find yourself opening your eyes in the middle of the night. Now, the reason this thing usually happens is because usually when you're getting sleep, it's like you're kind of getting some downloads, okay? So sometimes these downloads may require you to be sometimes awake. It's the reason as to why for some reason the higher powers, okay, so the source, I don't know, whatever, your guides or your angel guides or whatever, spirit guides, they may sometimes wake you up in the night. And it may feel like as if somebody even tapped you on your shoulder to wake up in the night. So most of the time, spiritually gifted people, they also tend to struggle to sleep in the night, okay? Sometimes you may find them awake in a couple of certain hours of the night, you know, sometimes you may find them awake in the early hours of the night, or sometimes in the later hours of the night. So it does not happen all the time, but there comes a time in your life when you usually are going to struggle to sleep, okay? If you're that person I'm talking about, you're most likely a spiritually gifted person, okay? The last one I want to talk about, the sign that you're a spiritually gifted person, is when you are usually not doing well with crowds, okay? So these are like, the concerts are not for you, okay? The clubs are not for you. Crowded places are not for you. Whenever you're in crowded places, you feel uncomfortable, because the reason why you're feeling uncomfortable is because sometimes you're getting a lot of energies around you. And sometimes you feel these energies, like I've said, you're highly empathic. These energies, sometimes you feel them as your own. And sometimes they're weighing you down. So if you see sometimes spiritually gifted person, there are people who want usually to stay somewhere in the corner, seated by themselves in their own room, in their own home, doing their own thing, minding their own business, okay? So it may be very difficult for you to drag a spiritually gifted person to go to a concert, to go to a public event, a place where there are going to be a lot of energies, a lot of different types of people, you know what I mean? Because even sometimes spiritually gifted people, they understand that sometimes in those kind of places, there are also a lot of low vibrational entities. And sometimes they don't want to engage in that form of energy, because they also understand they may end up being a target in those kind of places. So sometimes they avoid crowded places, concerts, I don't know, pubs, discos and clubs, or things like that. So those are the 6 signs that you are a spiritually gifted person. If there's one I've not mentioned and I've forgotten, you can always let us know in the comment section below. Let us know what kind of sign resonates with you, and let us know any sign that I've forgotten, I've not mentioned in this video. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Thank you for being here. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.